by Sponge, and we are jumping straight into the action. Grayhound's pick, the advice of the desk is win the first map and probably the second, or at least over the course of the 3.
Traditional approach, it seems.
Okay, keeping it simple, stupid, and so are Grayhound. They're not in any rush. It is a T attacking start, and good God, the odds are blown against them. Vitality, of course, on the ropes, and a hot favorite for Legend State.
On paper, understandably so. The desk has outlined this here. Vitality should be able to bully Grayhound around the server, but this team have already upset Cloud9. Let's see if they can do it again. Got Rushley and MC on the 1s to 0s.
Dream team on the buttons. Let's see what Sicko, Inz, and Liaz can do. Now, will there be a first move? Vexite just investigating and flashing up on short side. That will facilitate the leap. Boots on the ground now. ZywOo distracted. Good strike out of Vexite's P250. Info. 2, he screams brackets. Spinx, 1 to be cleared out. Gets nothing done. dupreeh, though, still lingers and regroups. Kit present. Bomb to be planted. An advantage for this Grayhound pistol start. They can't afford to be falling to this boost. You can see established now. Magisk will have a timer on this now. Dismantles. Sicko in pit. And 3 for the retake.
Key here is Magisk with the smoke and the kit here, but time already starting to tick, and I think they've called it off.
Okay.
Retake in towards that A site or the B bomb site, number disadvantage, never going to be easy, and Vitality not wanting to get stuck in early, allowing Grayhound to keep 4 players alive. This should be very, very easy pickings for the pistol. We can call this one done. Not what I was expecting by any means. I thought, you know, once you get to a stage environment, there's a bit more pressure, an elimination game, you take a few more risks, just like Alistair chasing them away here, making sure they definitely are saving. He's spotted out at least 2 now. That'll be the death of him. A goose from Inz, and he falls as well. So actually giving over some extra cash. Not the end of the world, but a big pistol round for Grayhound to pick up here on their T-side campaign.
Yeah, fundamentals. I loved it from Vexite. Hits that necessary shot. It's the information that comes with his death as well. Lets Liaz charge down this left side player. Spinx falls, as did the round. Grayhound 1 and a force in response.
Yeah, so the fact that they do have this kit right now is also a scary factor here. But ZywOo's scout, he has been the, I want to say heavy hitter, the only hitter for Vitality so far here in the Challenger stage. And not a swing and a miss just yet, but a scope all the way down, and nobody overstepping the mark just yet for Grayhound. Inz, patience being the virtue, takes his time, peers on forward, and they're establishing this map control as it doesn't do an awful lot. Now Mahone mentioned pressuring this B bomb site. Spinx in his previous team, and in case you're uninitiated, this was not a map that they played. So always discussed as a bit of a pressure point, and if he gets off to a slower start, something that ZywOo might be called over to help plug. Very tiny gap there that ZywOo has scoped on through. Now, mid-control, not garnered just yet. This Famous on the top row. dupreeh has been spotted. We'll need to drop on down. And they have a passive crossfire. Now, it's worked for them plenty of times before Vitality, this passive crossfire on the site. They don't have the full guns to do so. Top banana smoked off, rotation for ZywOo coming over. Vexite charging through, looking for the info. That's a bit of a money man play. And they need to head straight now in towards A. Sicko onto dupreeh, it's just Magisk.
Yeah, Magisk, the cavalry coming fast through spawn. Inz looking to investigate. ZywOo ready and prepared for it. That's a hard shot to hit.
Disjointed.
Just a slither one. Inz now down. Magisk still has the sight. They're running out of time and options, especially when you hit shots like that. Magisk, a big one into Liaz, and Grayhound just crumble. It's only Alistair alone. 3 to find, a 1v4 in front of him, and a horribly intimidating smoke. He wants to go and investigate, doesn't find it. Yeah, he's got the gap closing behind him as well. Apex, Spinx are partnered up.
Conceding.
Opting for the deagle and taking the fight. That was an oddball move. Not interested in trying to get that bomb down, have them run him down. And so Vitality, yes, straight back.
It's a bad one to lose right there, and the word I used was disjointed. Look at all these kills, they're individual. Now, they sent Vexite into B for information, but were unable to strike together as a pack here. And you can see it was conceded by Alistair. As soon as he throws the Galil away onto the roof, he knows he's given up the round right there. So, rough one. That plant would have been great. He could have punched in the digits, or at least tried to, given them some extra cash to work with going into the force bind for round number 3. But, well, this is not a good start for Grayhound by any means, but if you're a Vitality fan, this is exactly what you're looking for.
Which they haven't necessarily been getting an awful lot of as a Vitality fan as of late.
Yeah, we can recap some of those losses. Hasn't been looking fantastic. They lost to Gamer Legion on Vertigo and Outsiders on Overpass. Their only win came against Imperial, who have already been eliminated from the event. Yeah, full banana control here. Bomb all the way back towards T-stairs. So You can see there's no clear intent from Grayhound just yet. They're hoping somebody gets a little bit over picky, and these Deagles might be able to strike. Nade towards top mid, well placed.
Whoa, big chunk of damage. Vexite trying his luck and toying with dupreeh. Undaunted and unscathed, gets himself away. Just peppering onto the apartment's presence, slowly conceding control when he sees fit. Good placement of the nade. Might be able to get an angle over the top. The nade finishes the job ZywOo started. And running out of options now for Grayhound, trying to break through this defense.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much. If it was Apex and Spinx in opposite positions here, I'm sure Apex would have pushed all the way down to T-stairs by now. So yeah. This one here, it's hard to see them hit bangers entering the side. Another round that feels like it's going to fall apart, and without too much traction or damage.
Yeah, Majeski really kind of made a name for himself in this position. Years have passed, still a demon on it, and 2 from that pit hold. Vitality will find their second round. Grayhound's force falls flat.
And here's the thing, that round from Vitality, I know it's more of an anti-eco, a traditional style round, playing somewhat passive across the map. That banana control a little bit of a different flavor. But they can just play that type of Counter-Strike and they should win. They have all the experience, they have ZywOo, and then the pedigree of the players across the board is levels above what Grayhound have to offer here. And on a map like Inferno, it's difficult for them to get into the thicker things in the same way as like a Dust 2 when they upset that of Cloud9. So this is not going to be easy. It might be a blowout over 2 maps here, if we're going to be honest.
So would you frame a win condition for Grayhound is that ZywOo doesn't get company over the course of this best of 3?
Yeah, look, if the support isn't there and everybody else is still quite flat, this is just going to be a mop up here, sure, a couple casualties, but still the mop and Bucket out to play. Yeah, if the support network isn't there and it is just ZywOo and they're able to isolate these B defenders like Mahone, just get dupreeh on this A crossfire isn't going down. Love is in the air.
The whole crowd giving you a pat on the back for that one.
See everybody having fun here today. Now, no Brazilian representation. I think it's easy to be a fan of Vitality based off of the history of this team. Yeah. Right? Not the underdogs, but one of the best players in the world in the server right now and in fine form. That's entertainment right there. Yeah,
then you throw in, of course, that Astralis core that did legendary things that no other team has done in the history of Counter-Strike, and that, of course, combined with that generational talent that is ZywOo. It's an easy team to get behind. Of course, hasn't been easy for them. That interview dupreeh gave ahead of this one, it was just riddled with doubt.
Yeah, it doesn't fill us with much confidence here, especially going up against a Grayhound, but it is showing they're respecting all of their opponents and understanding the issues are internal, right? So this is where they can focus. Hey, look, the resistance might not necessarily be on the other side of the server. We need to figure it out ourselves. Now, the first gun round, Alistair into the AWP. A Galil for Vexite, that's one of the concerning factors here. This young gun, he's very sharp. Would love to see an AK in his hands, but burn damage onto Apex. Trickled on down. Sicko does find the opening here. An overzealous Magisk in towards the boiler will be the first casualty of round number 5.
And no knee-jerk trade back. There was a little contact on Banana, but they will be able to advance now with that man advantage.
This is the perfect time to try and punish Banana and B, right? And really see what this setup has, because we know that Vitality love a bit of a gamble, love a bit of an over-rotation and a snack. We've seen a lot of this in the second half of the year. Apex has tucked himself towards Graveyard on, well, Grave HP, but this is great for ZywOo. The crossfire set up with dupreeh, and there's the mop. Sicko with another good trade. They know where the AWP is now.
He's done a lot to keep Grayhound in this round. Puffing up their chest. Sicko, 2 must-hit frags found, and Spinx, don't forget, still isolated.
Now, if you have a look, they've got the smokes available for a B execute here. Spinx only with a flash to his name, and playing over towards CT tells me if they execute, he might even opt for the save in this situation. We've seen them be quite hesitant to go for rounds from the pistol.
He's having a look. He wants to see if there's anything free or uncontested he can find. Now, that might mark his absence of commitment. Smoked off, unloads his mag and starts to maneuver back. The bomb maneuvers through. Alistair finding that perfect premium plant spot. And now I think, yeah, as you highlighted, just going to be looking to see if they can catch anything of an overextension. Vexite not going to move out of Nubox, has no reason to, and so Grayhound, a lovely remedy, with 4 still standing, a conversion.
And around where Sicko gets 2 kills, right? This is an individual that we're expecting to see towards the top of the scoreboard. The New Zealand representation here in the server for Grayhound, stepping up in a big way. And a tidy round, not a chaotic one, not one where it's screamy. We're running up Banana, and it's 50-50 Jules. Finds that they win out. and handle neatly.
That setup you were talking about in apps as well, I mean, that is a hard one to crack, no? AWP on the tight line, rifle wide.
How often do you see ZywOo miss?
Yeah, I mean, touche.
And that round could have been completely different if they were able to open up that exchange. So, well handled from Grayhound and keeping this one to a one-round game.
Good to see some Vitality jerseys in the crowd. Definitely have the majority over that of Grayhound, but Grayhound already inspired many with their first win of the major. Both them and IHC managing to flip the script to a degree, but will they be able to push Vitality? We'll find out, of course, over the course of this best of 3. Good start, though. Keeping it up, keeping their neck above water against this Vitality defense. ZywOo throw in a rather calculated smoke. We'll have a slight slither in order to catch a very common spot to line up your smokes, your nades. Towards Banana, though, the first battle ensues. You can see, cocked the flash for Apex's call when he feels hot water or hot lead out of the nades, leaves them on 10 HP. You might want to get out of there now. Yeah, that utility should facilitate a retreat. Vexite might have him locked in here. Spinx might have to bail him out. There's the opener. A big one from Vexite. Grayhound again with an opening frag.
Good understanding of the situation. Info play back. dupreeh calls mid-clear. The over-rotation available right now, but the bomb still on the deck. Plenty of time for this as Liaz and Sicko investigate Boiler and Halls. The other 3 poised towards the top of Banana. So choices plentiful for Grayhound right now. This time Spinx has opted to play in the site. So if they do finish B, he will be standing and fighting.
And I love this util up A. It will keep those feet planted, and it puts so much now riding onto Spinx. If he can find one for free, get away, reposition, keep that B site under Vitality rule, you might channel him into the stack. Bomb yet to be committed. It will have to start maneuvering now, about 40 seconds as it's picked up onto the back of Inns. dupreeh on his own move, and Liaz looking the wrong way. Trade is there. Advantage held. Time sensitive.
ZywOo's got a flash here. Might activate Spinx. Sicko needs to hit this shot, and he can't. They have to go B now.
Yeah, and that flash has been put through. Spinx aggressive through the smoke, kept level.
They know ZywOo's here.
Not the perfect weapon for the job. He knows time on his side. The run boost across. Alistair does manage to beat the cross from Magis, but that's just a little bit of a slip up. You don't have the time for this. You'll get run down. Surely ZywOo will stop this before it gets out of hand. One to the bottom. And Vitality handle business.
Questionable decisions in that one there, but some cool shades here. You mentioned some jerseys. Yeah, it's strange to see. You know, it's curious to see who the crowd is going to be supporting in different scenarios, right? I think the 0-0 Nation jersey is very similar to the Vitality jersey, so that's quite easy. Maybe just change the logo.
Yeah, we can just get a sticker on top.
Whack it on, and away we go. But that one there, Grayhound did a good job to trade back and forth, but Vitality, they didn't seem too threatened by that situation.
You had legs, just didn't quite pull it across the line. So, a return with a slightly less than idyllic buy. It's Tech-9s, it's conservative.
2 nades here, likely to go towards that pit position. Magisk isn't there at the moment, currently up in towards the hall, so might miss the mark.
Some pace now. dupreeh calling for aid, and it's a nice supportive spray. The Flames take 2, ZywOo a 3rd, and blocked it off. Not bad. Vexite gets away with murder. Unable to retrieve it, but a casualty nonetheless.
Give him an upgrade, he might be able to find another kill, but surely that's all he'll have to his name. Into a Tech-9. This kid's sharp, but not the type of rounds looking to get much done. Spinx will finish him off and make this a 3-round game, 5-2. Pretty pedestrian stuff so far. You know, it hasn't been anything crazy just yet. Now we have closest to the screen here, Liaz, the most experienced member in this team, headed to a semi-final of a major.
Yeah, it just doesn't land on my ears. Naturally, Liaz, the most experienced member. I remember when he was the exciting young one. I mean, maybe I'm just aging myself, but yeah, wow. Sicko, Vexite, Alistair, and Inns alongside for the ride. Grayhound looking to post their 3rd attacking round. Don't forgetting the pistol was theirs as well. Protocols established. They actually want to contest that early deep banana smoke and cost them a great deal. Yeah, well, that's what happens. You're in the hurt locker. Smoke behind you, molly in front of you, and nades right on top of you. Inns a 7th death. And Spinx is catching these timings. That's lovely from him. Just strafes out into the action, posts his 2nd frag. And Vitality given this one on a silver platter now.
Risk had to be taken there, but as they regroup, Going through the chicken pit, Alistair still poised mid with the AWP. They'd have to hope to get given a kill, and Vitality aren't the team who needs to overstep the mark on their CT defense on Inferno. So back towards B with a likely execute here. Smokes available. CT and coffins. There's even a Molotov for the triple box and flashes to boot.
You can see this is so established from Vitality. Apex and Spinx, they know what is needed of them. A slither gap, he calls for it. Yep, hits his crouch key. Spinx to drop the util, and they will just push through. Surging into the site, Alistair posts up. Spinx, he's already on for his third and gets it done. Apex now just for the cherry on top, but loses his head. And now the round's up for debate. Sicko and Liaz partner up, bomb is down. dupreeh considering a walk through the smoke. ZywOo to facilitate. Flash pops, Liaz needed that one. Trade is there, Sicko can. But will he find the 1v2? So much time, they'll partner up. Turns the nades, takes the fight. Oh. ZywOo. Very quick on the draw there.
Yeah, the fact from Sicko to have the heads-up maneuver to try and weasel his way in towards that smoke, change the angle was anticipated. Going to get past ZywOo here, who's having a decent start to the game. 7 kills, 3 deaths. You got dupreeh at the top of the scoreboard, and maybe that flat face was for a reason. Now you're seeing the energy in the server. 12 kills for him.
18 majors, Chad. That's a whole lot. Don't have enough fingers to count the amount of majors this man has attended. Every single one.
Okay, back into this cycle. The washing machine. Guns into pistols, and if they can't continue to get plants, that will be the name of the game. Flash forward, fight coming. Spinx not isolated at all. They're just going to lock this one down. Alistair finds something, but Apex is still alive. The cavalry's on its way, and they're toast. Okay, hold up.
Well,
they're in.
It's toast, but there is a bit of butter. Ah! On top, what? That is creamy, cheeky, not another. Alistair has suddenly made a round out of this. 4 kills. And there's only one more to find. dupreeh close on sight. Ins in support. Grayhound have been given a real gift here from the gifted Aussie. And dupreeh perhaps overthinking this. He's heading back to A. He assumes they'll be trying to avoid him. And it's a red carpet run to get that bomb down. In still suspicious, understandably so, but dupreeh has burrowed all the way to the other side of the map. And then still not planting.
dupreeh's rotating back now. He's had time to go towards A, get into Graveyard, decide it won't be that finish, and rotate back through CT spawn to address this. This could still fall apart for Grayhound.
I don't even know who's overthinking more. 30 seconds, and it's just dead silent.
Look at all the nades he has as well to disrupt this. dupreeh can win this round.
So many nades. You want to get that bomb down. A little bit of a hint in the form of a nade. dupreeh heads back to A, and now Grayhound have it right in front of them.
The pendulum swinging back and forth, but here he comes. This incendiary could be perfectly placed.
They've opted to take the fight in unison. You can see from different elevations, they will take the fight as he rounds that corner. Trying to make it as impossible for the Dane to separate these, isolate these 1 versus 1 duels. A miracle round out of Alistair. Started with Tech 9s. Can they finish with the rifle? It's the ace for the Aussie. And he likes that very much. Daylight robbery, a 3rd round.
That's a happy little Vegemite right there. What a round out of him. Started with on toast.
Whew.
Ended burnt for Vitality. Let's see this one again. So Spinx isolated. He jumps on in. This one's stylish.
Oh,
the hops
lovely.
with the headshot, and then the M4 comes out through the smoke. Takes a risk, gets the kill. That one is magic, and ZywOo, he hits the deck as well. The ace for Alistair here.
Oh man, that looks like it feels good. And this is where you got to try and hold on to your hats, folks, because it looks like Vitality are pissed.
Yeah, they didn't like that one very much. The Hive's been rumbled. A quick play down Banana does free up a big rotation point. ZywOo's AWP now trained over towards that half wall. dupreeh and Magic just have to hold on while that rotation point comes back. You can see highlighted here that they have some fantastic defensive positions on that side. They're not playing forward in towards mid, so the trade potential difficult for Grayhound. And well, time's already ticked on down. We still have a minute on the clock, and stepping past the line of sight. Shot fires off. That is actually a bucket load of information right now for Inns to call with.
You can see the call's been made, yeah. Immediate pivot. Alistair's on the move. Apex. Ooh, a bit hectic on the spray. Partnered up with Spinx as well. So their B defenders have just parked the AWP and focusing their attentions here on this library side. Long flash, good one from Spinx, and the second to really secure the round. That extra firepower Spinx brings, it's apparent.
Might have to be the save call here. Still plenty of time on the clock, but have nothing to work with. Last round was a miracle. This one from a different world, as you can see them starting to back on off towards the second mid. Apex gets caught very off guard, but I think he was using himself as bait here. He will secure the fact that they are holding on to these two rifles, and that buy in the previous round meant that Grayhound had a little bit of extra cash to work with. So we should see them get into another buy coming forward, but here it is. This is the round starter and what was essentially the round closer because of the rotations that are freed up over towards this A site. Spinx and Apex both able to be up and protect the first letter of the alphabet, and that'll be it. 7-3 now.
Well, not a lot of fun for them to be having here in round 11. Might want to find a little bit of a leveling of the finances. 2 saved rifles. They did it on Tech 9s, but I don't know if you can really call upon Aster to replicate.
No, they can buy here, right? There's enough money to get the drops out, and that's probably what they're having this second time out to discuss. Exactly who's going to drop what utility we're going to have available here, and what poor Sicko is going to have to buy. So for him, it could be into a Mac 10 or something a little bit lighter here. Unless I'm missing something dropped on the ground right now. And he has a bad spawn. He's at back of the pack. So if, you know, he had a Mac 10, he might be able to operate quite swiftly up that banana, try and open things up. He has been dropped a gun from Alistair. So rifles across the board looking likely here. Yeah, so a Galil into his hand.
That works.
Yeah, and they've been able to get out a strong-looking buy off the back of that save. But they cannot lose Vexite in the opening stages of that banana challenge. And ZywOo again wanting to be tricky with it.
Oh, Vexite's got his own tricks up his sleeve. Straight through, across, ahead of Apex. Perhaps they can combine. He's lost his jewel. It's a good trade back. Keeps him level in this tug of war that is banana control. Spinx currently isolated. He wants to puff up his chest, appear more than he is. And if you were to dare try and fight for this mid control, you can see the established Vitality hold, different elevations, different weaponry. You got the AWP rattling off shots on one side, Magisk up on the top rope as well, boosted onto quad.
Faking B right now, hoping for a mid-over rotation. You can see Alistair scoped up. If that barrel goes too far around the corner, there's info, and oh, that's more than enough. Dropping off, gets out of dodge in time. They've at least made the threat felt. But there's 2 players on either site right now, and time 45 seconds, so Grayhound will need to make a commitment here.
And it's coming through. Counter flash from ZywOo. Spinx to try and push on the back of that, gets nothing on his initial look. Sicko spotted, Liaz forward, ZywOo quick on the AWP, need another, both down.
Fast flank here from Magisk.
Very quick, Sicko doesn't really have the health for the head-to-head, caught on the reload, immediate pressure applied to this plant. The retake on, like Donkey Kong, dupreeh in tow. Magisk ahead though, extended, nicely isolated, ins. Just the right balance and concoction of forward and reserved, and look at this. This looks rather reserved from dupreeh. He's thinking it through, but not a wealth of cash to spare.
Might be another clutch next to his name falling by the wayside here. I'm not sure how he's meant to break back into this. It just looks like damage is on the agenda right now. He's got the marching orders from Apex, take as many down as you can, and they're going to navigate safely through the ruins position towards CT spawn, and Grayhound will grab their 4th. Some impact there from in-game leader of Ins. Great stuff from him to get 2. That's going to get him up to 3 kills. But able to pierce that veil of top mid, right? That was the information. So they fake out B. The rotation from ZywOo comes through. They show a little bit of leg top mid, but it's the fact that they're able to trade efficiently as they enter into this B bomb site. So Grayhound did a good job in that round of keeping the defense quite split. They couldn't rotate ahead of the information. They had to respect what Grayhound was showing, and now they have to respect what is the bottom of the barrel for their cash. They force bought into this. They've got the FAMAS, they've got the MP9 alongside a couple of M4s and an AWP. But if Grayhound win this, Vitality are broken.
It's a big if. Let's see if they can manufacture some success. You've got to get through ZywOo if you want to get into B this round. Vexite's been having a tough time in these opening duels, especially at this half wall. Trying to use that smoke, but Spinx is perfectly poised to punish.
He should have them here.
Yeah, oh, he just averts his gaze. AWP shot hit, In's lucky and limping. Finish now. Spinx again on the multi-kill and through the wall. Sours the mood further. And that's the beauty of having an AWP like ZywOo.
Yeah,
floating around. Set him up, and ooh, Alistair feels like he's been set up.
It has to be the same again. Okay, that was very quick. Well, they're in. Got to do with Magis now, and he's not going to be one to rumble. Apex has fallen playing for Info as well.
Alistair, there's no way. He's not ready for Magisk, and so at least through his frag onto dupreeh and through Liaz's handiwork on that extension on B, he's got himself a one-on-one right now. Magisk is still on A, but it is up against none other than Mathieu Herbeau. Thinking it through. Shows presence B. Magisk will start to maneuver to lock the door behind him.
He's playing to contain, and this is really smart from Magisk here. A lot of players will just get on that flank. The fact that he threw that Molotov from the mouth of Banana tends to tell you, hey, I have a lot of wiggle room here. Liaz is quite overthinking this
him.
now. I'm not sure what he's meant to get away with here, and running knife out into a gunfight should fall. Magisk will pick him up, and the crowd likes what they see just there. So a round where Vitality were on the brink of financial disaster. Pull it together with a nice little spring of the trap. That was tidy work over towards B. The flash forward, the setup of Spinx and ZywOo. It's nice if you're Apex to have those two individuals to flash forward. There's the fade. There's the flash. And here comes the fight. This was beautiful work right there. Combination, just locking Banana down. And yeah, Alistair, you're likely expecting Magis to be towards Pied or Sight in one of those passive roles, but in that type of a round, they were just scrambling. Yeah. The round was already considered. It was lucky that those kills were picked up and back down towards just some peppery pistols. This is direct, though, straight up the guts. Yeah, it's a quick smoke, and so dupreeh likely communicating a gap. ZywOo to try and address it. Good one on the spray through the smoke. ZywOo getting run on down, but absolutely no sweat on the brow as every shot connects, just on the corner as well. Shattered. A quickie, Grayhound sent back to spawn. Vitality extend their lead, 9 in the bank already, and this is the opponent's pick. Now the signs for concern for me, Vexite, who is at his first major. Right. He is a young buck. He's one for the future of Australian Counter-Strike. But he is the entry fragger, right? He is the man who needs to get in there first and open them up. And traditionally over towards Banana, he's been losing that fight, maybe gets traded. Sure, you can give the thumbs up there, but if he can get that opening kill and then go down and be traded, it'll be whole different rounds here. Safe to assume Vexite's seeing some things on these fights that he hasn't seen or felt before, and maybe like a double nade. Spray combines with the HE. Spinx and Apex making a very strong case for some redemption on their B holds. A very nice, delicate balance of aggression, utility, and synchronization. dupreeh got him. As easy as that, it comes his way. The round disintegrates again for Grayhound. Haven't had to do too much creative work here, Vitality, right? It's been quite standard in terms of the plays right here, and it's the little details for Grayhound, like that Molotov not being deep enough. That car molly that you throw, you want to make sure that it burns behind the car so players can't step out, right? That's the reason you throw that variation. There's lots of different ways to deal with that, but likely to see this one peter out for Grayhound now is fortifying this top mid defense. There's 3 players here. 2 towards the long side. Sicko isolates the killer to dupreeh, but the trade is there, and the final 2 will fall. Double digits secured, and Vitality looking to run away with this one. I mean, every time we look at that team cam, you know, there is no doubt in anyone's mind that the org is looking for a winning formula. The fact we've seen Spinx come through even when things were rocking and rolling, the fact that legendary names of Astralis were willing to put Legacy up for debate on a well, I don't think anyone can really disregard as a gamble. You didn't know if it was going to work. They are looking for that top spot, and well, it hasn't all been sunshine and rainbows, as you can see in the fact we're here at an elimination match of IEM Rio. Vitality on the ropes in the challenger stage. Yeah, Kassab was painting this would be great for their confidence if they can pick up a victory here and then take that into tomorrow in the 2-2 matchup. Now Apex, this would be great for his confidence. Backs are going to be turned. He's not a knifey boy. He's definitely not a knifey boy, but you'll see how many he can get here. He's going to hang around. The round right now is cooked for Grayhound. You are boxed in. Horrible sinking feeling in your stomach as he gets the kill. Oh, Liaz. It's a bit of freedom. Has actually solved the mystery. A blind stab in the dark, a quick dig down, second mid. Stops Apex's hijinks. We'll see that one from his perspective. Look at this, cracks his skull with a quick click. Okay, game on. Well, dupreeh's still quite forward in mid here. This flash over. Spinx spams. He doesn't even need to see his target. See you later, Ins. Trying to get back the banana control. Not on his watch.
Can Liaz do anything more? The answer a resounding no, dupreeh. No hesitation. 2 kills, 2 seconds. And this final round of this defensive Vitality half looking set for 11.
Has to throw his body at the line here. So the smoke to try and recover this bomb. But tag on through, and there comes the death. 11-4 is the score. Vitality with a commanding lead here. Grayhound, this is their map choice. This is an elimination game. They need to find themselves.
So this is AI Identity with Vitality. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So basically, and you've seen some of this like AI generated art that's been on the internet recently. It's
Yeah.
super interesting. Like you can literally just pump in Danish Counter-Strike player best in the world at Pit, and it would show a picture of you, and it generates it. So let's start. We're going to basically create some original art. So let's try and choose like an art style first. Like for photography, it could be like steampunk, anime, or what's the style that we want to feed the machine?
I honestly, art and me, I mean, it's...
You and art not best friends? Yes.
I have never watched the picture.
No?
Nah,
I'll take you to there's a nice museum here. We'll go if you've got a day off.
Yeah, but I don't like it.
I'd rather be on the server.
Okay, let's go with oil painting.
Oil painting. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's classic, no?
Yeah, it does sound nice. Yeah. So like what's the main focus? It could be, an object.
I mean, the obvious would be Counter-Strike, no?
Yeah.
That may be also a bit boring, I don't know.
What about an animal? What's your favorite animal, Lieutenant?
Dogs, I guess. I
A
love
dog?
dogs.
Or you could do like a pit bull. Pit bull's a great big scary dog. I like those.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Good one.
Framing and lighting. So this is like what mood? Dark, wouldn't it? Like
Yeah.
if we've got like an angry pit bull.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with that. Dark mood.
Well, okay, I'm not
No,
going to say anything.
I like this one.
You like it? Okay,
Yeah,
thank
let's
God.
go.
I think it'd be good.
It fits.
All right, where does our scene that we've created take place? Like,
has to be
where's
Rio.
what's the dog doing? Is he outdoors? Is he having a pee? The bar.
Should be in Rio.
He's, okay. An oil painting of a pit bull in Rio de Janeiro. I'm interested. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Well, Vitality, right? You little bumblebee. Can we see if they can throw a bumblebee in there? Catching a bumblebee. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, just to give that Vitality
Yeah.
twist. Whoa.
Ah, okay.
Hey.
The third one on the right now.
It's like the Brazilian flag in the background.
Yeah,
Oh, that's actually good.
You're
He should be eating it though.
Yeah, he's gonna have a really bad time.
That's gonna be we are the Bumblebee, and if we win against the Imperial tomorrow, there is the people going after us. We have
See, and you said you don't like art. Now you're interpreting art. Look at this.
Yes,
You see, it's
exact-
evoking emotion in you.
yeah, maybe.
Art is beautiful. Magis just realized it today. And that's the end of AI Identity. Thank you so much, boys.
Good vibes for both sides. Vitality perhaps on a bit of a higher frequency. 11 already in the bank on the Grayhound pick. It's the first of this best of 3 in elimination series. Grayhound Gaming picking up 1 win. Vitality the same, but both condemned to those elimination games here on out. It's best of 3s. We wave goodbye to one of them at the end of this series. And Vitality already in the hot seat.
They actually have the supporting cast here today, Alex. So
Right.
concerning signs for Grayhound. dupreeh, 17 kills to his name. You've got 14 for Spinx, 13 for Magisk. And, well, then we get to ZywOo at 12. And the odds have blown out even further here. Grayhound getting the pistol round in that first half, not able to convert. Could have set themselves up with a nice bed of rounds here, but have now found themselves in a whole world of hurt.
It's the ideal weapon for the job, Sicko. Dual Berettas spots out ZywOo, deletes ZywOo from the equation. A wild swing with nothing to report, and it all falls flat. upon arrival. Apex double, dumping util. Inns wants to try and take one away, but the flash does completely quash any aggression he was considering. Vitality saved in the same scenario on the first pistol. Do we see the CTs give it a go?
No
a
way,
shake of the
Jose.
stick. Doesn't need to. Locked in now. Inns might be trapped. He's in the fade. Can't go anywhere but forward. And so he will. Backs turned. Spinx tapped. Magis exposed and ahead. Deleted. If they can find Apex, it could crumble. And they have. Inns high impact now.
Has to sit it.
On the defuse. dupreeh has to be held at bay. Need to hit this shot. Inns, it's a high pressure scenario. Runs him down and round goes dupreeh's way.
Oh, finally getting a clutch is dupreeh. That was very close indeed. Picks it up and continues his great form here, up to 20 kills, head and shoulders above the server. And that Molotov actually worked against Vitality here. Inns just ahead of the Flames, gets himself a couple, but can't get the most important shot onto that of dupreeh, and he'll pick that one up. Sitting pretty now, Vitality. The first half, walking up a hill now. Just rolling down the other side of this mountain. 4 more rounds required, and if they win this against the Grayhound force, they should come in quite quick succession. Next map is Mirage, and the third and decider, if we do need it, is Dust 2. So it's the most normie of map pools available in today's Counter-Strike landscape. And hedging their bets are Grayhound with a 4-man A lean, but Banana is where we're investigating.
Backside. Considering his options, he's got a lot to contend with, and he does want to stay ahead of that smoke grenade. He's already been chipped away. You can see just trying desperately to stop this from happening. Apex, caution to the wind, leaps through the CT smoke and may very well have just won the round.
Yeah, identified quite easily what that type of a setup was right there. The fact that they were just hoping to keep top Banana redeployed with smokes. Vexite had another one available to his name, and then you could see how desperate he was. Like, no, if they get the info that we're not playing site side, they will stroll on in, and Apex taking that big risk, pushing through the smoke, securing exactly that information. So, round done and dusted. Save of these upgraded pistols is the new mission for Grayhound. And it's not that a hunt is available, but take a look at the radar in the top left. They are quite close to one another.
I mean, you definitely get a sense Zywoo in on that Mag-10. Considering his options. Not really attached to this SMG. He's happy to throw it into the mix. And Spinx the same. It looks like, yeah, Vitality, they want to punish the CTs here. They want to take that armor, take that sidearm away, force those rebuys. Bomb goes in, and so do they. Inns will fall. Alistair holding his first, and yeah, we will see 2 extra frags sprinkled in for good measure. Spinx twisting the knife somewhat.
Yeah, and that right there is everything really coming to a close for Grayhound, right? You keep 4 alive, you get the double dip, you get another opportunity. And right now, well, that opportunity is somewhat squandered. It will have to be almost a full eco from the 3 who fell. The other 2, well, a Deagle and a 5-7 that have to get very fortunate positioning for this to net them much. There's a nade available for Sicko here. That could be well placed and soften them up slightly, but how are you meant to get excited about a round like this?
Yeah, and dupreeh doesn't look like he's slowing down. Just walking up top mid early, partnered up with Apex, and they'll just start their crawl. Good find into the apartments. It's close quarters. Liaz puts one into their head. Spinx will be low on that, but unfortunately for the rest of the squad, there's no one in a position to really profit. Alistair alone with a USP on A. Hopeless in this one, round 18. Already a certainty. Magis just going through the motions, and yeah, Zywoo will do the same. Now, the map pool, we discussed it. We already outlined that in order to really have any sort of kind of viable, you know, not hyperbole hope for the Grayhound boys, that it would have to start here on Inferno.
Yeah.
At this stage, hope starts to dwindle. Mirage is next.
The biggest positive is they get to start on that CT side of Mirage, but there's also the desks were a little bit quizzical seeing Mirage pick, so interested to see them explore that thought a little bit more before we do get into map number 2, but shouldn't be too much longer before we get there. The guns will be coming out for Grayhound now, but this would be quite the comeback. We need 12 rounds here to get this done in regulation, and that would be 12 consecutive rounds. So it's not impossible, just extremely unlikely.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that dupreeh really did have his Weetabix this morning, I think
He's been beating Australian teams at majors since I was playing. I just remembered. We played him back when it was still with Device, Zip. I think they were either called Question Mark or TSM back then. Maybe we were Vox at the time.
Right.
And we were playing them on train. It started well. We were 6-0 up. I had some great calls, and then I think we lost about 16-6. So it's quite a traditional fate here against dupreeh.
But I bet you were loud as hell when you went 6-0 up.
But the first 6, mate, improvising strats, it was working well. But yeah, after that, not so much.
He's been at it a while, but yeah, I'm sure he gets like an extra elevation into his flow state when it's like, oh, I could be out in the challenger stage. When he wakes up and has that realization, and he's got, you know, world-class talent next to him that pull my socks up a little higher. And he has done, at least here on Inferno 21. Spinx and Magisk just trailing that. Get to see the guns out now for Grayhound. Let's see how much of a wall they can erect. Again, they're hunting him down. Inz has actually just been set up with a nice opener. ZywOo committing while blind, and yeah, deep banana control established. The CTs with a lot of the map territory.
It's actually a big bit of info right there if Vitality have been watching the demos, which I'm sure they have been. Matt and Zonic, the coaching staff, and well, Apex combined, should be aware that Inz is more of the flex player. They like to start with Vexite and Sicko over towards B. Inz is there to help them set up. He's actually the one who's barreled forward here. So having an idea that it was this 3-man B lane, that was quite telling with the utility that came their way, but haven't been able to pounce off the back of it. Attempting now to flush out any rats in the system who have pushed on down towards this lower part of Banana. An exchange of flames will hold both at bay for now. There's currently 4 players over towards A, and I say that Sicko starting to rotate back, but Inz will find another through the boards. Magisk hits the deck, and the final 3 for Vitality will just have to slink up Banana together. The boost towards CT. There's one more incendiary in play over towards B. There's enough utility right now for Vitality to execute. If they trade efficiently, they can get into the site, they can get the bomb down, and they can set themselves up for a post plan.
Carpet bomb onto B. No pressure onto Sicko as of yet. Here comes the push. He actually just gives the fight through. Good dink onto dupreeh. Need a finish. Inz maintains his elevated position. Should be good for at least one here. Spinx though, too fierce. Need Alistair to finish what his team has started. Quick one onto dupreeh, and now it's Apex that falls to this orb. Alistair doesn't quite get the round done. Gives Spinx a chance to fill his lungs with a new set of oxygen as 3 CTs head in his way. This has to be Grayhounds, and Liaz confirms it. And so, yeah, it got a bit sketchy there. It looked like it was supposed to be a bit of just a little putt into the hole, but it got a bit awkward.
Yeah, Inz set them up there on the silver putt to convert that one, but it's always so scary when you see teams playing nobody in the site right there. With CT smoke and coffin smoke, and you're locked out. You're hoping to find those timings, and Sicko couldn't, but Alistair could. On the fade, takes the fight. The bomb does go down, so another buy is well and truly available for Vitality here, maybe even 2 more. Now later today on the main stream, we do have Furia taking on none other than Gamer Legion, and that right there is to lock one of the 2 in towards that Legend stage. Furia, I think now are the Brazilian hope, and the crowd will be clearly barracking for them later this evening. 4 fast up second mid. This is smelling of something a little bit set, Alex, to punish that 3-man B start.
Yeah, Inz is already on his way back through Speedway. Alistair forward on the AWP without the support. Liaz up in towards the boiler room. Loud Apex hasn't been heard. They will silently mantle through. So 2 slinking into Liaz's position. Big find. Good trade. Alistair needs it. Can't. It's Spinx again. So capable of finding that second in the sequence.
They still have so much utility right now to execute on towards A. B is still an option here as well as they just continue. Creep on forward in towards the site. Spinx has so much space, more space than he could possibly hope for here. The molly comes forward, he jumps on down. This is his kill every day of the week. He might get all 4 until Vexite chimes in. And that's going to be it. It's just Sicko who has to save. That was destined to be done as soon as those first 2 kills come in. I wonder if Alistair's barrel got spotted there as well. Look, if you are going to play in that boiler setup, it's quite telling that there will be a player close haul. So they connected those dots very quickly, did Vitality. And Sicko's gotten here towards the tail end of the apartments quite quickly as well, but we'll have to get past this orb.
Yeah, Zai was looking the wrong side, but he never lets that flick go. 15-5. Vitality quickly remind us that this first map is just a formality at this point. An 11-4 half very quickly wrapped on up and tied up.
At least this one didn't start with, there it is, yeah, that's the second kill, more than ready for Alistair there. You know, and at that point, he's in no man's land. If he starts to dip back and they come out of halls and he's stuck in the middle of the apartment position. So neither decision would have been a positive one, but here's the big red button. It's been hit. Round 21, 15-5, the double orbs come out. Alistair does hit the opener, but so much damage done. Alistair and In's quite low. They have to keep everybody alive in a round like this if they want any opportunity to get us to have a conversation of a comeback. Another orb strikes.
Both of them have filled the feed, done their job, given them the way in.
Well, they picked the right bomb site here again. Vitality looks like they wanted to head up middle. Only two players here. That's Alistair with his AWP and Liaz with the FAMAS in hand. Oh, actually, ZywOo heading back towards the B bomb site. Now, a couple of points of logic here. You might want to look for the heads-up AWP duel against Vexite, or when you know you're against orbs, it's quite easy to execute over, right? Those smokes we've discussed, that removes a couple of clean sight lines, and they still have 3 Molotovs available. They could really light this B bomb site up.
Just dry through. Now they know there was an AWP on B. Send ZywOo in. Or don't even need an AWP for AWP. It's Magisk who prevails up against Vexite. A nice tag onto Spinx, but pressure applied to B as well simultaneously. Sicko just well to post on the MP9. ZywOo does escape with the bomb. Spinx trying to continue to find the gaps on this A-long side. 25. And the odds just seemingly too stacked against them.
Yeah, fair enough.
You only need one.
And they are showing respect, right? They're not just going, all right, well, it's ZywOo and Spinx. We can probably win this round, right? They're going, well, we need one more. Let's just get it done cleanly. That's fine. We can give them 6. It's not a close scoreline. Not at all. So there you go. Bit of a gimme here. Grayhound do stay alive for now, but this is one of those classic matter-of-time matchups. Or at least maps. Mirage still might tell a bit of a different story. Unfortunately, the upgrades not plentiful here for Grayhound. Sicko did get himself an AK. Liaz retained the FAMAS. I'm sure he would have loved the Kalashnikov for himself. We're juggling some weapons across here, and understandably so, Grayhound with their last timeout to be expended. Kingfisher, the lad standing behind them. The final marching orders, trying to head down this stretch. 9 more.
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. He's just going, right, boys, so all you need to do is just do that again 9 times.
And you can count that on both your hands.
Thank God. Unless you're not a very good woodworker.
All right, well, what's the knockout blow from Vitality here? Feels like they could call whatever they'd like.
I'd be calling ZywOo go kill. You know, those
the
ones.
Classic run up banana with the AWP.
Yeah, go on. Give me one of them. He hasn't got the perfect spawn, and he's got Apex in front of him, so he's going to be charging in to throw that lovely smoke. He likes to leave a little gap on it and catch those CTs that play forward. Counter util good enough to at least delay it.
They won't be able to play for info here. His defensive smoke has negated any opportunity to try and play forward, right? They could stay towards sandbag, but they can be pop flash, they can be mollied, and it gets dangerous. So you can see a bit on their haunches here, Grayhound. And that has freed up space towards A. That dupreeh with the bomb is investigating very aggressively. Look how far forward he is. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, might get a face fault. Oh no, just shy on the nade. Vexite confirms top banana still under their control. Retake smoke, likely to follow. Liaz seems aware of the possibilities. Spinx with an extinguish, so surely ringing the alarm bell now that A is under a lot of scrutiny. Vexite's rotated through. Inns as well, considering it on Speedway. And Vitality yet to commit. They have got limited resources, but you've still got ZywOo and dupreeh with a full belt of utility. Whole squad gathered now. The congregation looking for action. They get it as well. Vexite got nothing done. Gets one before ZywOo's AWP finds him. Alistair trying to maintain control. One on the balcony, not expecting this. Does snap into Spinx. Apex slipped through. Looking for the AWP now and delivers the headshot. Vitality a single frag away from taking this first map. Sicko peek through. Nice from ZywOo. And business attended to, at least here on map 1.
This is the type of Vitality we all want to see. A commanding victory against a stark underdog here. Grayhound have been sat down in map number 1. Mirage up next, but first we've got a break, then the desk. Don't go anywhere.